Welcome to 30-Second Chances, where we ask deep, contemplative questions and provide far too little time to formulate thoughtful, reflective answers. My guest today is Eventide's Richard Factor. Richard, how are you?
Perfect.
Perfect.
I'm afraid so.
All right, well, we're in trouble then.
I'm more qualified to be me than anyone I can think of.
Damn, well, that's impressive right there. All right, you know the drill on this, 30 seconds, and then on to the next question. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, question number 1. Describe your job to a 5-year-old.
Was that the question? You know what? I should turn on captions to make sure I don't miss anything. You've gone into DJ. Oh, I don't have captions on Zoom. Never mind. You've gone into DJ mode. You gotta talk slower.
Okay, well, you have about 15 seconds left to describe your job to a 5-year-old.
Whoa. I don't have a job. That makes it easy. I've been pretending to work for the past 52 years. I don't see any reason to stop at this point.
Perfect. I love it. Next question. Tell me about an irrational fear or strange belief you had as a small child.
I think all my fears are rational. I was afraid I might grow up, and I had no idea what I was going to do or why.
No need to worry about that, obviously.
Fortunately, I was able to dismiss that. I realized I haven't done it, and I probably never will.
That's absolutely perfect. Yes, indeed. I've been avoiding growing up for most of my It's, I mean, why start now?
Yeah, no reason at all.
All right, next question. What would 15-year-old you be most and least impressed with about present-day you?
When I was 15, I was making electronic gadgetry, which is how I started my alleged career. And everything was so large, I could actually see the components that I was using and wire them together with wire and solder. And nowadays, pretty much everything is invisible. So I'm really impressed by how good it is and very depressed by the fact that I can't make stuff anymore because my hands move.
Okay. Next question.
Am I going too fast here?
No. Next question. What skill do you use in your work that you never expected would have come in handy?
What skill do I use in my work? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, once again, I don't really work. Not that I'm retired, it's just that I've never considered it to be work. And well, for example, I've learned a little bit about taxation. I wouldn't call it a skill so much, but I've always been a nerd, as you can see. And I never for a moment thought about government interaction with business. And tragically, I am now required to do that, and I'm not happy about it.
Next question. You are about to be sent back in time 600 years to medieval times. It's a one-way journey. You will not return. What 3 items will you take with you to help you survive or barter with?
3 flashlights.
That's it? Just 3 flashlights.
Well, if I can only have 3 things, remember they don't last forever. If I took 1 flashlight and 3 batteries, anything could happen.
Especially since most flashlights need 2 batteries.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be terrible.
You know, not anymore, because these lithium battery flashlights, I could drag one down and show you. They have little turrets on them, and they put in AAA cells, literally, so you have to replace 3 of them, and they never last for long because they have a constant current. I'm happy with the flashlight.
Next question.
And I wouldn't use that.
Next question.
I thought that was an aside.
Next question. You've just woken up as a fictitious superhero with a completely pointless or semi-useless superpower. Who are you and what is your superpower?
I'm going to have to think about that one. Totally useless. I can show you my superpower. See that? I can bend the tip of this finger without touching it and without bending the rest of the finger. That is my superpower. Almost nobody can do that. You want to try it? See what I mean?
So you would be finger man.
Joint man.
Either one has great connotations.
Without the colloquial implication.
All right, next question. You've just stepped out of the shower this morning and discovered that every item of clothing you own has shrunken to Barbie-sized proportions. What's your next move?
Go right back in the shower before I get the floor wetter. My wife will kill me.
Well, but eventually the water's going to get cold.
We've got a pretty good hot water heater here. I actually like it. We even have, believe it or not, a steam shower. Be jealous, everyone.
So you're basically just going to hang out in the shower for the rest of the day, is what you're saying.
Why not?
Okay. Just all right. Next question.
What will you do?
I'm not quite sure, but I think I'd get on Amazon and order some clothes at least, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of clothing. I suppose I could wear a sheet.
There you go. All right, next question. You've been invited to give the eulogy at Bozo the Clown's funeral. How do you begin?
We're all bozos at this funeral. You asked how I begin. That's how I begin.
Well,
if you want me to go on, I would hope to avoid what happened. You may remember Mary Tyler Moore show, the Chuckles the Clown funeral, where Mary very inappropriately bursts into laughter. Famous episode.
I'll have a look.
I would be trying very hard to eschew her reaction because I'm not great with death.
All right, next question. If a theme song had to play whenever you walked in the room, what song would it be and why?
Well, I told you how much I love the Jefferson Starship Blows Against the Empire album. I don't remember the exact title. Maybe it's called Starship, but something from that album. Not the very first song, but one of the later songs on that album. I could pin it down if I didn't have only 30 seconds.
I see. Okay, so you would just need to have this play every time you walk in the room. You would need to know the name of the song, but okay.
Either that or the song every time I walk into the room.
Now there's a good choice.
It'd be really recursive.
All right, next question. Tell me something surprising about yourself that may or may not be true.
Wow. Well, since I already told you about my superpower, I think despite the notional success of the fact that I'm simply alive at this point, at this advanced age, and our company has been successful, I've discovered I only have one reliable talent thus far, which is coming up with ideas for products. I really don't do much of anything else all that well.
Seems to have held you in good stead so far. All right, that concludes our regularly scheduled questions. I'm now going to put 30 seconds.
I didn't know that. I should have known what they were and rehearsed. I'm sorry.
Well, they weren't really scheduled. It was just, they weren't scheduled at all. They were completely impromptu. I'm now going to put 30 seconds back on the clock and allow you to either answer for me a question you wish I had asked you, ask me a question, shamelessly plug something, pontificate on life in the big city, whatever you want. 30 seconds, it's all yours. Go.
Pontificate. Well, why not? I'll take anything as a commercial opportunity. One of the products I had invented 50 years ago was a thing called the omnipressor. You know the omnipressor?
I do.
Well, through no fault of my own, we, Eventide Incorporated, have decided to reissue that product.
Wow.
And I got one of the prototypes. They wanted me to test it, make sure it was similar to the old one, and it's similar enough that you know it's an omnipressor, and dissimilar enough that it works a lot more fluidly. And I opened it up just to see what's inside, and the thing is empty. I was shocked to discover, you know, the original product had a main board and a front panel board and a rear panel board and a lot of wiring, but the main board is gone. It's all on the front panel and the rear panel with a tiny little power supply off in a corner. And that plays into what I said earlier, that everything is so tiny, you can't really do very much with the science toys anymore. 30 seconds.
That's truly impressive. Richard Factor, thank you for being my guest.
Well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, such as it was. Great fun.